Hello everyone and welcome back to another video with Exercise for All. Today we're going to be doing 5 standing exercises, so make sure you've got a frame. As you can see, I'm demonstrating with the chair here. Now if you're doing this in a care home with the residents, then do this, I would suggest, one-to-one. You can do it in a group environment, but you just need to give them that extra bit of support, so make sure there's staff on hand, okay, as it's a standing workout today. So really good for your balance, some leg strengthening activities or exercises too, and really good for fall prevention. So make sure that that walking frame is there, and just a reminder that we're using it as a guide, we're not solely reliant on it. You don't want to be using your arms at all. We're going to be using these legs, okay, to help us balance. Now the first one, nice and easy, we're going to start with some side steps, okay? So out and in, okay? So you can see I'm placing my foot on the floor, and with all of these exercises, we'll try and do them for about sort of 30 seconds each, or at least 8 repetitions each side. So out and in, just holding onto that frame as a guide. Okay, so keep going with that, nice and slowly. So there's that element of balancing before planting your foot on the floor to help stabilise yourself, okay? Of course, the wider you go, the harder it's going to be. If you go really far out, you're going to find that it's quite difficult. You're working these muscles too to help stabilise your leg. Okay, 2 more on each side. Okay, there we are. Great, if you managed to do that. Let's progress it. Let's make this a bit more difficult. What I want you to do is just bring your foot out, so it's more of a swinging action. It doesn't need to be quick. Again, the slower the better. Out and in. And you might feel that you're leaning to counterbalance, which is absolutely fine. Some of these exercises we have done in previous videos, but these are probably the 5 best ones for you today in one workout. Again, 8 each side. Keep going. There's definitely an element of strengthening in those muscles too. Okay, a couple more on each side. Okay, again I'm going quite fast here. You can completely slow it down to your own pace. There we are. Right, the next one. High knees. A bit like you're just walking or marching on the spot. Here we go. By bringing those knees nice and high, we're standing on that one leg for a little bit longer. So good for your balance. Again, we are going to progress this to make it harder. This is just an introduction to this exercise. So bring that knee nice and high, working those hip flexor muscles, really good for your hips. Driving them up. Okay, looking straight ahead. Okay, try to concentrate on your posture. Bring your tummy in and relax those shoulders. Good. Right, one more. Brilliant. Okay, now to progress this, what I'd like you to do is just bring one knee up and see how long you can hold it there for. Okay, only a few seconds before returning back down. If you can do that, brilliant. And then the other knee, up and return, up and return. Again, if you're finding this quite easy because you might be very steady and stable on your feet, then what I'd like you to do is just hover your hands above the chair, and this goes for all of the exercises, or your frame, sorry. So it's always there if you need to grab onto it, but what you can do is just hover your hands, try to bring one knee up. If you feel a little bit wobbly, bring your foot down and hold onto your frame. So knee up and then down. Okay, a couple more. Knee up, down. The slower the better, the higher your knee comes, the better as well. But you just do what you feel comfortable with. Okay, I'm going to go for one more on this other side. That's it, fantastic. Right, the next one that we're going to be doing is some leg raises behind us. Okay, so holding onto that frame once more, bring one leg back as far as you can, try and straighten that leg and then back in, okay? The other one, back and then in. So really good for these muscles at the top of your leg, your hamstring muscles towards your glutes. There's an element of strengthening there because you're taking weight away from your body. They have to work quite hard to keep your leg in that position, but really good for that standing leg too. So balance and strengthening, all very good for fall prevention. So try and include these into your daily routine. Okay, 8 on each side, and back, and back. Good, try to get that leg as straight as you can. The further you get it away from your body, the more your muscles are going to have to work, the more you become reliant on this standing leg. Okay, good for your flexibility. There's a slight stretch in the back of the leg there. Okay, 2 more. Good. If you feel like you need a bit of a rest or a sit down during this workout, you're very welcome to. Pause the video, come back to it. Okay, there we are. Right, what we're moving on to next. So, targets. This one we have done before with some cushions on the floor if you remember that video. But what I'd like you to do, any foot first, forward, back, left, right, okay? And then back to the centre. Using the other foot, forwards, back, left, right. And why this is a really, really good one is because you're navigating your position in different variations. So by going forwards and back, these are all movements that we might do every single day. This knee here is having to bend, it's having to support the weight of your body. So it's really relative to the movements that you might do in daily life. Of course, you're going to be using both feet, but by doing this, you're emphasising the feel of moving and navigating into different variations of positions, okay? So again, 8 on each side, forwards, back, really good for your ankle stability as well. Okay, and centre, forwards, back, left, right, forwards, back, left, right. The difficult one is when you go across your body like that, okay, or across like that. That's the difficult one. If you prefer just to do the 3, forwards, back, and then out, you can. Forwards, back, and out. Making sure you're holding on to this. The slower the better, the bigger the movements the better. I'm sure you know that by now. Forwards, back, left, right. Okay, 1 more on each side. Okay, forwards, back, left, right. Really quite difficult. Do have a little rest if you need to, if your legs are getting quite tired. We've got 1 more exercise to do, number 5, okay, and this one is more about strength and there's still an element of balance, of course. So what I'd like you to do is just bring 1 knee out slightly forward, so I'm coming towards the chair, outwards, and then a bend, and then push back up, and then to the centre. So leg comes slightly out, you bend to the centre. Okay, so again, 8 on each side. The lower you go with that bend, the harder it's going to be. Okay, try and take it nice and slowly. There we are. So I'm going to keep going. That's about 3 on each side. I've got about 5 more to go. If you can only reach about 5 or 6, that's fine. Don't push yourself too much. You know your limits and you know how your legs are feeling. So we're squatting, we're pressing down on that leg, we're adding some load to it by putting our body towards it. Press and back. Press and back. Right, 3 more to go for me. If you've got this far, you're doing really well. Those legs are going to feel like they've had a good workout afterwards, and hopefully you feel a bit more confident going forwards into balancing each day. Okay. Good, 1 more. Fantastic, and take a seat. Now that's not going to be an overnight thing. You need to be consistent with that, and with consistency will come results. So try and do that workout a couple of times a week, even a few times a week, if you've got time to. It takes, 5 or 10 minutes. I do hope you've enjoyed that workout, but come back to it and do it as many times as you can, and that's really going to help with fall prevention, okay? That's what our aim is. So thank you very much. I've been Matt from Exercise for All, and I'll see you in the next video.